Hi guys and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 as Rangers. Celtic obviously have played at Dingwall already today, winning 2-0 up there. Goals from Patrick Roberts and Odsonne Edouard. That leaves the league table looking like this. We are 6 points clear, having played the same number of games, but we do have a game right now against Hamilton at Ibrox. We can go 9 clear, of course leaving Celtic with a game in hand. Ryan Jack suspended for this one, so Jordan Rossiter will come into the midfield. That will leave space for Jason Holt to come onto the bench for us. Fabio Cardozo is carrying a knock today, so Bruno Alves can actually come on for him. He prefers to play as a stopper, but you know what? He's playing... Alright, I'll allow Bruno to come back in as a stopper, and Milanese can play there as the covering defender. We're going to go with Dorrans back in for Baronas as well. Baronas has had a bit of a run of games now in the side, but I think it's time to go back to some more experience in the middle of the park. So going with Foderingham, Tavernier, Alves, Milanese, Knudsen, Rossiter, Dorrans, Candeas, Peña, Dalcio and Morelos. Strategy, as always, on the right hand side there, Tavernier bombing up and down to support Candeas. Knudsen on the left, more defensive minded with Dalcio ahead of him. Bruno Alves and Milanese covering for Bruno Alves, hopefully being able to provide some pace at the back there to stop any through balls going in behind the defenders. Peña and Dorrans will be providing the balls out wide and up front to Morelos, Candeas and Dalcio, and Rossiter will be sitting in there to play some simple passes and to break up the opposition play. So that's going to be the side, 4-1-4-1 from them today. Hopefully we should be able to pretty much just impose ourselves on this one. Let's get started. Just encourage the boys here as Morelos will play it to Rossiter. Finds Peña. Peña out wide to Dani Candeas. Candeas back to Bruno Alves, who will find Peña. Bruno Alves in today after being dropped after a series of poor performances. One game in particular where he missed a penalty and conceded a penalty in the same game. Koulibaly now losing it to Bruno Alves, but Bruno Alves is penalised for a foul. Not a good start after only 20 seconds there, Bruno. They're playing with 2 injured players today, and their striker, Suleiman Koulibaly, has been booked. Carlos Peña for us is in the book. 10 minutes gone though. Candeas will float one in. Chance for Bruno Alves, it's headed away, and Thomas will clear it to Longridge now. Genetic haircut number 1, Longridge. Forward to Koulibaly, picking the ball up. Sliding challenge from Tavernier, can't get it, but Dorrans can. I think the highlight there must have been Bruno's header, but nothing really coming of it, as Dorrans will now deliver a corner deep. Morelos can't get there, headed on, headed down, Peña blocked, and Candeas will score. The assist goes to Carlos Peña. Dani Candeas scores from the corner. Nothing really that the goalkeeper could do about that one there. And 20 minutes gone, Rangers lead. Bruno is now in the book. He better not get sent off, I swear to God. Bit of a boring game today though. We'll take that though as long as we win. Peña over the top for Candeas. Can he find Morelos? Morelos now getting into the box. It's whipped in and it's one of those. Woods just fumbles it behind for the corner, of which nothing will come. Dorrans delivery. Too deep, headed away. Morelos will pick her up. Morelos' cross is blocked. Peña will pick that up in the middle of the park. 2 on. Should just be playing this back to the goalkeeper really. Nothing happening either way. I think that's one of the main things they really have to look at in their match engine in terms of developing realism. Players don't just shuffle backwards with the ball like that. Candeas though delivering a ball easily away by Saris. It's over the top. Bruno Alves cuts it out, doesn't let it fall to Koulibaly. Good defending there. Rossiter to Tavernier, who can angle a ball in, and it's going to be the goalkeepers to push over the bar. A highlight that we've witnessed all too often. Candeas' delivery headed away by Skondras, picked up by Dorrans. Nothing going to come of this though. Dorrans marshalled, he's doing that sort of shuffle. Dorrans to Candeas, finds Rossiter, who will lose the ball, and it will be cleared at half time. 1-0 Rangers over Hamilton. Decent half. I'm actually going to tell them not to get complacent out there. Tavernier looking a bit annoyed by that, but whatever. We'll bring on young Baronas for Graham Dorrans. He can come on now at half time there. Morelos and Dalcio have been pretty poor. It's Ali Crawford now who plays it to McKinnon. Free kick given after a trip by Carlos Pena, who sees red. I will say this, we're a hella dirty team. We get a lot of red cards. Carlos Pena is coming off now. Pretty much we just go with what we have though. I mean, I can't really change the shape of it too much. As Crawford steps up and fires one off the wall, it will break to a couple of players actually bouncing around there. Couldn't really follow it. Tavernier clears it though for a throw into Hamilton, who's still yet to get a shot on target. Dalcio has looked pretty poor since actually returning to the side. Kenny Miller will come on for the injured Alfredo Morelos. He can play as a defensive forward just now. What's wrong with Morelos, I wonder? Hopefully only a short-term injury there. Potential head injury. Okay, a concussion could be a couple of weeks. Oofed. And that's a lunging scissors challenge from McKinnon. He is off. Stephen Boyd coming on now for Hamilton, but they are now down to 10 men as well. And that's their advantage gone in terms of the numbers. The last 10 minutes, we're going to see Jason Holt coming on for Jordan Rossiter. He plays a deep line playmaker in there with the support duty just to give him 10 minutes of game time here, as McMahon will take the throw in for Hamilton. He goes to Koulibaly rather easily. Back to McMahon now. Bit of space to launch one forward. Koulibaly, far too much space for him now. He hits one from distance, but it's well over the bar. No real danger on that one. Tavernier lining up a free kick that's not going to go in, and we're not going to see it either. Over the bar it goes. Hopefully a problem with the beta, that camera angle, as I've said before. That certainly can't be allowed to persist in the full release. And 5 allotted minutes of added time now played. Final whistle goes. A 1-0 victory for Rangers. Yeah, winners of a poor game. I can't argue with that. I'm going to tell them well done because we got the 3 points here, kept a clean sheet, but at the end of the day, a pretty poor performance, and we can't play like that up at Dens against Dundee or we're not going to get the victory. Morelos is out with a fractured jaw. That's going to be 4 to 5 weeks that we're going to lose him, which means Kenny Miller will be the starting striker when we go to Dens Park and when we line up at Hampden Park against Hibernian. Conterman praising the supporters. Good for you. Okay, Hearts against Partick now. Hearts, who seem to have done pretty well actually since they turned us over at Tynecastle. 2-2 they get there against Partick. Not a terrible result, but could have been better for them. Okay, scouting report here. They're expected to play 4-2-3-1. Here's hoping they do that, because that's the formation, of course, that we like to play against. This weekend now, the Betfred Cup final, I believe, will be the weekend where Celtic will... No, they won't play the game in hand, actually, because we have Dundee now. I don't know when Celtic will play that game in hand, actually. The scouting meeting. Let's see this Georgian guy. He looks alright, I suppose. What's he listed at? 350 grand. Alright, keep scouting him. We might come back to him, actually. He looks a decent player in the midfield there. He's behind Jack, Dorrans and Pena, but for that amount of money. Okay, easy win predicted for Rangers, I think, is a bit presumptuous, but going up to Dens, hoping for the 3 points, at least a positive result to set us up for the cup final against Neil Lennon's Hibs. Hamilton will play Hibs now on the Wednesday, giving them a day's extra rest, but they do lose 1-0. Suleiman Koulibaly denting their morale, hopefully, before they go into the cup final. It is Dundee for ourselves today, up at Dens Park, prepping for that cup final. We've got some offers for Kenny Miller. Philadelphia, San Jose and Minnesota all wanting Kenny Miller. They'll pay a couple of grand and we'll have to pay 400k a week to the end of the season for his wages. What do we think? It's a genuinely difficult decision, I think, here. When would it be? When would the actual transfer take place? How do we do this? I don't like this thing. Alright, let's view the offer, see if it tells us. Transfer will go through the next transfer window starting on the 20th of February. Alright, aye, okay. Now, do you know what? I'm going to reject them all. It's not worth it, and I'm going to see if Kenny wants to go on a coaching course. Maybe we could keep him here at Rangers when he retires. They're going to fund a coaching course for Kenny Miller. Miller starts a coaching course. Excellent. The idea being there that when he retires from football, he will be able to stay here on the coaching staff. I'd like a lot of ex-players and stuff to be here on the coaching staff. Carlos Pena is going to be out. Ryan Jack can come in, and Jack will actually play with Rossiter, and Dorrans can play in that more forward role there. Ryan Jack will be deep line playmaker, defend alongside Rossiter's ball winning midfielder there, so that's going to be how they're playing. Yeah, we're just going to leave Dorrans in the same role that Carlos Pena fulfills in there, and I think we're going to go with this lineup for the game up at Dens Park. Foderingham, Tavernier, Alves, Milanese. Actually, Cardozo can come on for Bruno Alves, and we're going to play with Cardozo and Milanese there. Milanese on the right, Cardozo on the left. Then it's Knudsen, Rossiter, Jack, Candeas, Dorrans, Dalcio and Kenny Miller playing as a striker. He's not got a goal so far this season, Kenny Miller. Hopefully he can change that. It is a 4-2-3-1. Dundee you're going to be hitting us with. I clicked the wrong button there, but it seemed to relax Jordan Rossiter, so that's good, I suppose. We're not going to single out the fact that Elbek Towie is missing, but it is positive. Elbek Towie is a pretty decent player for Dundee. Jack now to Dorrans. Dorrans playing it back to Ryan Jack as we start the match, looking to control possession. Cardozo plays it to Milanese, who until he puts a foot wrong is actually ahead of Bruno Alves just now. Rossiter trying to get forward, losing it to Spence. It's forward to Best. Milanese is alongside him, trying to marshal him back the way, getting drawn out of position a bit, but Milanese does pinch the ball. Good play from the young man. Can he play it out wide to Candeas? He can. That's brilliant from Milanese. Candeas now running inside, outside of the foot to Dorrans. It's Rossiter now, probably should square it for Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller, 9 minutes in, puts us up at Dens, and it's all to do with the brilliant defensive work of Marco Milanese at the back, winning the ball, and Rossiter's brilliant awareness to square it to Kenny Miller. Walter's free kick, Foderingham off the bar. Tavernier will clear. 20 minutes gone. Not a very exciting game, but 1-0 up you can't argue with. As Sissako plays it to Charsley, and now it's Blair Alston who can play it round to Charsley. Yep, that's not good defending there from Knudsen. Charsley will whip this in. Back stick, it's Walters, and he takes a first touch into the net. He didn't really shoot, he just took a touch. Foderingham in real life, you would hope would smother that, but it does go in. It is 1-1. Randy Walters does score for Dundee, gets them level. Poor defending by Knudsen actually to be drawn to the ball in the first place, and then poor play by Tavernier to lose his man and let him drift off him like that at the back post. Sissako now for Dundee, throwing it long to Charlesley, marshalled by Rossiter who pinches the ball, plays it long looking for Kenny Miller. It's away easily by Hendry though. Scott Allen picks it up, angles it in behind the defence. Got to be offside against Best. It is offside against Best. Foderingham with a great save anyway as Best took her on the volley. But really poor stuff from Rangers. Dalcio and Dorrans looking really bad out there. Fair enough, it's not Dorrans' preferred position, but still quite disappointing. I'm actually going to tell them it's been disappointing. Yeah, if you were at 1-1 and you've played pretty well, maybe I wouldn't be as harsh, but it's not been good. Windness is going to come on for Dalcio and Holt for Dorans. Yeah, those are the two changes we're going to make. I mean, the fullbacks have been poor today, I have to say, but we don't have too many options actually out at fullback to really replace them. Hendry playing it to O'Day now. O'Day goes back to Hendry. Forward it comes, and we've not ripped this 4-2-3-1 open like we have against previous opponents. Dundee have been very good today, I have to say. Zurdo will come on now for Dundee. Kerr and Kamara also on. Kerr forward to Allen. Tavernier goes in, misses it. Walters nicks it in. Milanese away. It comes back to Spence though. Akers to pick a shot, and it's just went wide of the post. And Dundee, I have to say, have been the better side today. Need to demand more out of the guys here because they've been shockingly bad, I have to say. And Knudson's been really poor. Let's give Lee Wallace a shot here and see what he can do for the last 20 minutes. See if he can perhaps shore up our defence a little bit here. Going into the last 10, you have to say we have to be pleased with a draw if we get away with one here because we've been really, really bad. Windass chasing the long goal kick, heads it on to Kenny Miller now. Can we possibly rob them of all 3 points? Kenny Miller into the side netting. Really poor from Kenny Miller there. He really should have held that up and tried to square it across like Rossiter did for him earlier on. Dundee now. O'Day will roll it forwards. Randy Walters. Now it's Spence to Kerr and Kamara. The striker there looking probably to break off the shoulder. Kamara picking it up. Forward to Allen. Milanese does very well and steps in. Jack forward to Kenny Miller, who takes a nice touch. Plays it forward to Holt. He's got Candeas with him. Holt losing it to O'Day. That's terrible play from Holt. Zardo out wide to Walters. And Walters is away now from Tavernier as Dundee look to nick all 3 points. Walters puts it in, but it's easy for West Fodringham. A real lack of quality actually from both teams here. Fodringham will lump it long this time towards Candeas. Ish, it's actually easily headed away, but Rossiter now could have played it in behind. Kenny Miller probably not got the legs for that though. Kenny Miller with a great pass to Josh Windass. Can he angle this across at the back stick? There's a chance inside. Kenny Miller chance, misses it. Candeas! And Daniel Candeas has popped that into the net. Let's go contain because we've been shocking all game. We really just have to try and shut up shop and get the 3 points here. We've absolutely robbed Dundee if we manage to hold on to this. We have been shocking. We have been abysmal all day. But these are the kind of games that champions win. Oh, we've got a bit of action still left in the game though as Kerr throws it to O'Day. O'Day forward to Walters, who does a lovely little spin on it. Plays it forward for Zurdo, who's got a lot of space out wide. Milanese drawn across to try and block him. He plays it into the middle. Spence, far too much space for Spence. He'll play it through to Scott Allen, who will play it in for Zurdo. And you have to absolutely lambast the team for that. We had 2 minutes to hold on and have absolutely fell asleep. Possible chance now. Wallace playing it to Rossiter. Now we really need to nick this. We need to rob the game again. Windass with the ball now. We can play that forward to Holt. It's easy for Spence to tackle. Can Dundee actually steal all 3 points now? Hendry playing it forward. Cardozo heads it on to Windass. Scrappy game here. Rossiter looks out to the right for Candeas. It's way over his head. Why did we even see that? All the allotted added time has passed now as Wallace throws it in, and it is blown full time to 2. I have to tell him it's not good enough. Marco Milanese looking stressed by that. I'm actually going to tell him calmly that I was pleased with him because he did well. That has now angered Ryan Jack, who I'm going to cautiously tell I'm pleased with. He did okay. That makes Jordan Rossiter switch off. Dear. I'm going to have to assertively tell him I'm not pleased. Kenny Miller switched off and James Tavernier's angered. My God. I'm not pleased with you. Kenny Miller, I'm actually pleased with you. Appreciate your efforts. That's angered Dalcio. My God, what the hell? How are none of this makes sense. Graham Dorrans, I'm going to have to tell him he was poor. Alright, let's just quit while we're sort of ahead. Okay, so they weren't liking that team talk, evidently, but they were poor and they deserve to be criticised for being poor. So we get the 2-2 there. We're now 10 clear of Celtic, but Celtic have 2 in hand. They win those, of course, that drags it back to a 4-point gap. And Celtic all of a sudden are really on our tails here. That's our first draw of the season, of course. We've went from 8-0-0 to 12-1-2, so it's not an absolutely catastrophic collapse or anything like that, but we're certainly letting Celtic get back into this. They host Partick next, which we absolutely expect them to win, and then their game in hand is away at Fir Park against Motherwell. Could be a tricky one for them, but I would expect them to win that as well. 2 poor performances though. Actually, we've had 4 poor performances on the trot now, going into the Cup final at Hampden against Hibs, and then away at Pittodrie against Aberdeen. So we need to do something actually to steady this ship a little bit, because if we keep going in this vein, then we're not going to win the league. We're not going to put in the performances that we really need to make sure we stay up here with Celtic. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Unfortunate there that Dundee grabbed that late goal, but it's been an okay episode. At least we're scoring goals. Milanese has actually done pretty well since coming in for Bruno Alves, so that's a positive to take away. But yeah, if you've liked the episode, drop down below and leave a like. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to follow the series, or in fact any of the series on the channel, we've got a AC Milan game going alongside this one at the moment. You could subscribe to the channel if you want to follow those, and I would be eternally grateful for that. But generally speaking, just thank you for watching the videos, and I'll see you next time for the Cup final and the trip to Pittodrie.